Got a $178 million knockout punch straight from the president, you'll cheer. Sanctuary cities will soon never again exist. And all the liberal leaders who have defied U.S. law for as long as 8 years are going to be very sorry. Furthermore, lose all their funding and odds of re-election. While a few leaders have seen the light and approached Trump's side, a few have resisted. Most likely in light of the fact that they can't envision that there'll be any genuine surprise. They're going to get a major surprise. Particularly in Austin. It's the most liberal city in Texas, a state that is generally totally red, and its sheriff has defied both government law and the governor for quite a while. In any case, the greater part of that is going to change. Via right-wing news, Travis County Sheriff Sanctuary Sally Hernandez has fallen out of the graces of Governor Abbott, who has bluntly stated that if she continues to defy the rule of law, he will cut off millions of dollars to county. So far, she's not budging. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has abolished sanctuary jurisdictions in Texas and an emergency item for this year's legislative session, and a bill is speeding through that would enforce that move. I love Governor Abbott. The city of Austin could lose $125 million in state and federal grants. Can you spell bankruptcy? The considerable part of the greater part of this is the way Austin will respond to losing all that money. Austin's a liberal city, but at the same time, it's a rich one. Furthermore, Lord realizes that rich liberals don't keep going long when they begin to lose all their cash. Also, when that money is to the tune of $125 million, well. Except that a considerable measure of liberals will all of a sudden locate another gratefulness for the law. The bill that will pull Austin's cash, S.B. 4, has the consideration of Sanctuary Sally and different liberals, however. They're right now looking long and hard at its wording to see exactly how much cash it will pull from the city. Or, on the other hand, put another way, they're beginning to budge. Furthermore, when they at last give in, they won't have any grounds to be taken seriously any longer. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H.T. Right Wing News. This is shocking. $100 million bus just went down, authorities in Texas just. The Democrats in Washington, and the whole way across the nation, are apparently opposed to Trump's immigration plan for reasons unknown. They claim that fixing our immigration policy, by really following our laws, will hurt innocent individuals. What they don't concede is that those innocent individuals are really outsiders who have resulted in this nation illegally. The Democrats want them here on the grounds because they hope they'll vote for them in future elections, likewise unlawful. Be that as it may, what Democrats regularly overlook is the monstrous wrongdoing plague expedited by drug cartels who effortlessly cross the U.S.-Mexico border. In spite of the tireless endeavors of Border Patrol officers and ICE, drug runners, gang members, and human traffickers have a relatively easy time entering the United States. The open border permits shocking measures of drugs and viciousness to spill into our nation. We realize that Mexico is scarcely doing its occupation of getting serious about these gangs and cartels. Regularly we learn they are working for them. So it tumbles to the United States to find these criminal associations and prevent them from entering the nation. Every day we are learning more reasons why we need Trump's plan. Via Joe for America, authorities have recently located 15 marijuana plantations, including 77,000 plants, which were established by members of the Mexican Los Zetas drug cartel, according to Breitbart. The 15 marijuana cultivation sites have spanned at least 9 counties in the eastern region of the state, including Smith, according to the Tyler Morning Telegraph. The DEA's formula for estimating the amount of marijuana seized shows that the Los Zetas plants would have produced about 169,400 pounds of marijuana, which would cost about $600 per pound, according to San Antonio Express News. That would make the haul worth more than $101.6 million. That amount of drugs is simply staggering. The fact that they were able to establish plantations in the United States is unacceptable. This has been continuing for a considerable length of time, a reasonable sign that under Obama, criminal enterprises thrived. His intentionally frail position on illicit migration and the border enabled lawbreakers to develop a huge number of dollars worth of drugs to offer all through the U.S. Just now that our border protection agents have been permitted to carry out their jobs under President Trump, are we finding out about the degree of the drug cartel's impact in America? However, the liberals want you to disregard these disclosures. Just when we can erect a changeless barrier amongst us and these cartels will we stand a possibility of turning the tide. What's more, as MORA has revealed sometime recently, Trump can utilize the cash appropriated from these sorts of drug busts to help construct it. Capturing and deporting illegals is insufficient. We have to disassemble these operations and keep them from growing up once more. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write our thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. T. Joe for America. Official. These 6 nations just closed their borders, and it's all thanks to President Trump. After Donald Trump talked finally, the greatest border security program you could envision was set up in under a day. What's more, it's removed the whole nation from terrorism. Too awful it's not our nation. In any case, it's an indication that Trump's words are being regarded. What's more, the best part? The nation that is presently cut off isn't the nation being debilitated by terrorism, it's the nation undermining terrorism. Qatar, one of the greatest Mideast funders of Islamic terror, is presently stopped by each one of its Mideast neighbors. What's more, they all did it, sit tight for it, after Trump's visit. Somebody, if it's not too much trouble, please inform me how Trump is a disappointment. Via IJR, on Monday, 6 Arab nations announced that when it comes to Qatar, their borders are closed, travel is suspended, and diplomatic ties are cut. The decision to temporarily sever relations was reportedly as a result of Qatar's relations with the Muslim Brotherhood and alleged support of terrorist organizations. Those 6 nations? Egypt, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Yemen, Libya, and, in particular for us, Saudi Arabia. What's more, Saudi Arabia was the first. Whatever is left of them recently took after the Saudis' lead. Also, that is vital for one reason: Saudi Arabia is the leader of the Arab world. What's more, the Saudis are likewise the blameworthy ones with regards to sending out terrorism. Presently they're leading the pack in containing it. We've gone from the criminal leaders to the cooperation leaders, in only a couple of days. A couple of days which were loaded with a visit from Donald Trump. I figure even Mideast Islamic dictators know a leader when they see one. What's more, these folks aren't squandering whenever. Bahrain has issued a statement that gave Qatari diplomats 48 hours to leave the country and announced the airspace and ports from and into Qatar would close in 24 hours. Egypt also invoked the 48-hour policy for Qatari diplomats in its country. Be that as it may, Qatar itself? It's ringing its companion, Iran. What's more, they're doing the liberal thing, blaming Trump. Hamid Abatalbai, deputy chief of staff at Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, blamed it on President Donald Trump's recent trip to Saudi Arabia and said, "What's happening is the preliminary result of the sword dance." Not certain precisely what the sword dance is. In any case, I do know a blame Trump move when I see one. Be that as it may, hello, on the off chance that you need to point the finger at him for this crushing achievement, proceed. You'd be correct. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. TIJR. Guilty as sin. You won't believe who owes $3.7 million for food stamp fraud. It's disastrous when individuals manhandle the benefits stretched out to them by taking part in criminal activities. Truth be told, it is more than heartbreaking, it's a shock and calls for simply the kind of forceful indictment and discipline that we've quite recently seen. The food stamp program has been filled with fraud. What started as a push to battle yearning and ailing health among the poor has transformed into an open door for criminals to drain the system and change over a social administration advantage program into an individual advancement conspire. Muhammad Shafiq, who lives in Baltimore, simply had his program of food stamp fraud conveyed to an end with a conviction and a sentence of 4 years in jail taken after by 3 years of post-jail supervision. Likewise, he was requested to make payment in the measure of $3.7 million. Shafiq was the latest defendant to be sentenced in a series of prosecutions of 14 retailers in the Baltimore area. A federal grand jury indicted the retailers in August 2016 for food stamp and wire fraud. The 14 retailers stole a total of $16 million from the U.S. Department of Agriculture by illegally exchanging food stamps for cash, according to the indictment. What these individuals are doing here is trading food stamp benefits for money, a wrongdoing. The law is that food stamp advantages are to be utilized just by the individual to whom they were issued and just to buy sustenance from a rundown of affirmed items. Pitching them to another person for money to be utilized for whatever different reasons for existing, is illicit. Multiple stores across the country have been cited for millions of dollars in food stamp fraud. Investigators found more than $20 million worth of food stamp fraud at retailers in Florida, and 140 stores in Chicago were cited for food stamp fraud. This can be a major business as the individuals who encourage these illegal transactions to take a cut of the returns as far as it matters for them in the wrongdoing. Also, it doesn't take excessively creative ability to consider what the food stamp beneficiary who now has money rather than food stamp advantages may utilize that money for. The buy of medications and additionally liquor to nourish an option rung a bell. This is another case of a central government program that may have been set up with great expectations turned sour. In the event that the administration will keep on attempting to give some assistance to poor people, this is a program that needs both an intensive survey and in addition a greater amount of the forceful indictment as we have recently observed here. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H. T. Briet Bar